Hello, hello. May God bless you. May prosper you this day. My name is Rick, and I am the cryptocurrency Watchman. Okay, guys. Whew, man, these past couple of days. I mean, yesterday. My goodness, did you see the drop on everything? A second drop. Just complete and total manipulation. Complete and total manipulation. I'm going to be starting up, doing some videos. We're going to be looking at the news. We're going to be taking the news from different places, looking in different articles, things like that, and kind of piecing things together. Trying to get an idea of the direction that we're going. Who is behind trying to regulate us? Who is trying to bring the blockchain down? There are many people, very high dollar people who just want complete and total control, and they will do anything to stop us so that they can control the wealth. So look for those videos. They're there to encourage you. They're there to help us all pull together as one, to pull together and work together as one to protect the blockchain. That's the purpose of the videos. It's a whole new area. I do the ICOs, which by the way, I have an ICO video coming out a little later on. It is a company out of Russia that I actually interviewed live yesterday. It's called Estate Coin. They have a really interesting, very unique idea that they're doing on their project, and I'll reveal all that to you on the video coming up. But I also did an interview with them, a taped interview. The language barrier, because they are Russian, they didn't speak very good English, so I will have a transcript with what was said and everything in the video. So keep an eye out for that. But you know that I do the ICOs, I do the day trading, which there's been a few days I just didn't do it because there just wasn't anything there, I mean, there really wasn't. And now I'm coming out. I'm gonna start doing videos concerning the news. Exposing those who are trying to bring the blockchain down. Exposing those who have controlled banking, big business, government, whatever. Who's coming together to try and put bondage, keep us in bondage as far as our finances, as far as our businesses, as far as our buying and selling of goods. We need to recognize who it is and start coming against these people, voting them out of office, boycotting what they're buying and selling, the banks, things like that, taking our money out of these banks, and the biggest thing is to get as many people on the blockchain as we can, because if we have enough money together and we're united in the in the things that we do, I mean, we buy and sell every day, that's all well and good, but when they're pulling tens of billions of dollars off of the blockchain and crashing these currencies, we have to have enough people on the blockchain to make sure that we can stop that manipulation. If we can get a good control of, say, 3 to 5% of the blockchain itself, as far as the amount of money that's on there, we can put a stop to this. We really can. It doesn't take a whole lot. So, keep that in mind, guys. Look out for those videos. Please have your friends subscribe to the channel, and share the videos. I'll be coming out with the first one either today or first thing tomorrow morning. I've got a lot on my plate today, but keep an eye out for it. So that's enough of that. Okay, here we go, guys. Picks for the day. I have, I think, 5 picks for the day. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 picks for the day. Okay. The first one is going to be XCM. XCM. You can see we had a nice little movement yesterday, and it's consolidating. It's consolidating pretty good. If we come over here to Coinigy, we can see that we're on We're on a nice little, downhill run on this. However, you can see our trend line right here, which for some reason, oh, I know why. Let me change this. Okay, you can see right here, we've got a nice little trend line right here. We're still on the way down. However, just keep an eye on it, because what's going to happen is eventually it's going to break through this trend line. Set up your MACD, set up your moving averages. Okay, keep an eye on them. Look for your buy sign, especially considering your moving averages. Normally, I use my moving averages as a buy sign. I use my MACD as a sell sign, but you can consider both. And some people use just their MACD for the buy and sell sign. It's really up to you. You have to do things do things what works for you. What works best for me is to use my moving averages for a buy and the MACD for a sell. But anyway, what we're looking for is a breakout of the trend line right here. Once you see it break out, we get confirmation with 1 or 2 green candles. Be careful, because the more that it retraces, many times the bigger the jump right out of the gate. Especially since we're seeing the Bollinger Bands. Let's put up the Bollinger Bands real quick. Okay. So the Bollinger Bands aren't really squeezing together all that tight. Okay, we're not looking at anything that's really crazy. They're actually starting to spread a little bit, so we get a little more volatility. So look for this to drop a little bit more, but keep an eye on it. When it breaks through, and it will eventually, you're gonna see a significant jump up. If we look at the history of XCM, you can see that we've had some nice jumps, especially right in here. That this is just over the past 3 days here. So if we go back a little bit more, we've seen some nice jumps out of XCM. It's got a history of making some decent jumps. You can work your retraces even on the downtrend. You can see right here that if you catch it on the bottom, look for your buy and sell signs, check your candles and everything else. Look at the profit still to be made, even though it's on a downtrend. And then here we go again. So there is money to be made out there, guys. It's just, you got to get a lot more skillful to be able to do this on an everyday basis like this. You really need to know your candles, know your trend lines, everything else. And I want to remind you, I've got my teaching out there, guys. I mean, if you really want to try to make a go out of this for everyday trading, you got to be willing to spend the time to study, to learn the charts, to learn the candles, trend lines, the Bollinger Bands, your MACD, your moving averages, the whole deal, even Fibonacci. I use Fibonacci occasionally. I don't use it all that much, simply because we're doing for the short-term trades. Fibonacci is great for the more longer-term kind of thing. But anyway, so yeah, that's my first pick for today. Okay, guys, the next coin we're going to look at is going to be Made Safe. You can see that we had a nice little jump yesterday, and we have a little bit of a retrace that's consolidating, and now it looks like we're on our way up again. Let's go over to the Coinigy chart here. So at this point, you can see that we're moving into a triangle. You can see that we have a almost horizontal line on the top and more angle on the bottom. So this is kind of leaning towards making a nice little jump up. Watch your candles. Look for your markers. This is you can see that we have a little bit of a gravestone here. This is a bullish harami right here. We have a gravestone right here, and so we just want to continue watching. I'm pointing out the candles to you. It's really not that important when it's consolidating like this. I'm just trying to keep you educated, looking at your candles and everything. But really what we're looking at right here is we're watching this triangle. We're watching to see what it does. We want to see which direction it's going to break through. And depending upon which direction it breaks through, that's going to be our direction but we want to look for a strong buy sign with this. Okay, watch your MACD, watch your moving averages. Keep an eye on it. So you use all your tools. Okay, the next one is Factum. We're looking at most of the ones that we're looking at today. We're looking at them retracing right now. We're looking for signs to be able to jump in at the right time when it begins to come back up. Now, some of these coins have a pretty good history of making, a nice little jump up on the retrace. And it seems like the farther they retrace, the better jump that we have. You can see right here, the small retrace, the small jump. The bigger the retrace, the bigger the jump. Right here, we had, nice little retrace here. We had a second retrace, which is actually more opportunity to buy back in. But you can see we had a nice jump. Same thing here, nice jump. So, Factum is one of those coins that tends to make that jump back up. You can see just through the history that it is a rebound coin. So this is definitely one that you want to keep an eye on today, because as you can see, we're going down. We're still on a downward trend, but that's a good thing, especially with this coin. Let's continue. Let's hope that it, continues going down. Let's hope that we see some more, some lower numbers out of this. And once it hits that bottom and you see it break through, you see it begin to, make its jump. Then, look for your buy sign. Make sure that you have a good confirmation. Make sure this broken through. And now sometimes you might have to move your trend line just a little bit, but you definitely want to keep an eye on it and, make your move at the right time, and you can pull some nice profits out of this. So if I kind of take you through the history of this, and let's just kind of look back, we can see, we see a nice, this is actually a full, if you look, this is a downward trend right here. When you look at the full downward trend, it's a nice little downward trend, and then what do we get? We get a nice jump up with this one. So, yeah, keep an eye on Factum today. Look for it to reach the bottom. Look for your buy sign, and with your moving averages or your MACD. You can use either one, but definitely look for that buy sign and be ready to jump on this, because this is one of those rebound coins. Okay, the next we're going to look at is DCR, Decred coin. You can see that we had a nice little jump past day or so. It is retracing, and it looks like we have a piercing. That's exactly what that is, and there's a good confirmation right there that we're looking at a nice little jump out of DCR right now. Let's jump over here, so you can see we're a nice little downward trend. This is a 30-minute chart. The other one, I believe, this is a 15-minute. Okay, so we're looking at a 30-minute here. Go back over here. You can see that we're on a downward trend, but you can see that our piercing is right here. Okay, it opened down from the main body. Okay, this closed here, and then it opened here. So that's a gap down, and we pretty much hit a little bit past. Looks like we went just a little bit past halfway. On this one, we definitely did. That's because of the 15-minute. Let me jump over to 15-minute here. So yeah, you can see just a beautiful piercing right here. That is a beautiful piercing. So yeah, we're on an upward move right here. You may want to. I would give it a little more time before you bought in. Let's keep an eye on our moving averages. But you can see that I have a resistance line right here, and we have broken that resistance line. So every indication is showing that it is going to go up. However, it could consolidate for a while. So I would give it some time. Let's see what it's going to do, because you don't want to be stuck in something that may consolidate for the next 6 or 8 hours. So just keep an eye on it, guys. Okay, our next coin is ZRX, and that would be Ox coin. You can see that we've had some pretty good numbers out of Oxcoin. Some big money to be made out of Oxcoin, especially if you work in the retrace on this nice little trend right here. My goodness, a lot of money to be made in this. Been a nice little downward trend going on. Looks like we kind of consolidated. We saw a little bump here. We're consolidating here, and I believe we're getting ready for a nice little jump up eventually here. I've got just a small trend line. It isn't really a trend line, it's more of a resistance line. I have a resistance line right here, and you can see this that is truly flatlined out from from this point. It started to come down a little bit, and at this point, somewhere in here, it kind of just consolidated down through here. So you can see it's just a nice little beautiful horizontal line going right here. It's not yet a triangle yet. We might want to see just kind of how it goes. If I did do a triangle, the closest thing I could get would be, across here, and of course, the odds are that we're going to have a nice little jump up on this one. So keep an eye on Oxcoin. Just kind of, it is definitely testing the resistance line. So you can't really use your candles at this point. It has to be an upward or a downward trend for your candles to really matter. Sometimes I'll just make reference of some of these candles just to keep you, thinking about that when the time comes, just showing you the patterns. That's all that is. But the candles only work on an upward or downward trend. So in a consolidation, it really doesn't mean anything. So keep an eye on it. I think we're going to see a nice little jump out of this. Okay, just wanted to point out Steam to you. This will be the last pick for the day. Steam is one of those coins that you can pull 3 to 5% out on these runs, on these ups and downs, on the retraces and then the jumps. If you look, you can see that again with this coin, the more the retrace, the bigger the drop, the better the jump. Okay, we're seeing we're seeing right here, pretty good drop. A little jump, a little bit of money to be made, but then a nice little drop and a nice big jump, almost back up to where it was before. So that's what we're seeing a lot of with this particular coin. There are some coins that you can sit there all day and just make 3%, 5%, sometimes 10%, and you can literally take your money and just work that coin, up and down, and make your money. And Steam is one of those coins. So if that's what you're doing during the day, you can see if you work your trend lines, watch your candles, watch your signs, you can see you could have made a little bit of money right here. So as soon as this is a piercing, it's a beautiful piercing right here. That is a strong indication. And so then we saw another green candle. So if you jumped in right here and then come up the top here, and this is almost an evening star. If this had closed the same as this, even though this candle is not really that important, but it looked like it may have opened just a hair of a gap up. So that is an evening star, which is a strong indication that it's time to get out. And so yeah, if you'd use your candles and use your indicators, you could have made just a quick little profit right here, seen your indication, and of course, once this turned red, you can see that we opened up here, which is roughly the same, and begin to drop. At this point, it's like it's time to get out. Okay, so yeah, it's and of course now you can follow it down again and follow it back up. You can do that pretty much all day with this coin. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Sometimes you got to change your strategies up to make your money, especially in these times. I'll tell you, when it comes to you can know all your tools, you can know it backwards and forwards, and you can do the best that you can. But when the time comes that they want to turn these things red, it doesn't matter what your signs are. It all goes out the window. It's going to drop no matter what. And the smartest thing you can do, the wisdom in this whole thing is use your stop losses. Set your stop losses. Don't be foolish. Don't think, well, it's going to go up. I'm sitting right here. I mean, you can literally step away, go make yourself lunch or, whatever, you might get distracted for a half hour or something like that, come back, and you've lost all your profits for the day, just like that. You've seen it happen. You see how these charts go, and it can happen anytime. There is no rhythm to it. It seemed like for a while there was a rhythm to it. There's no rhythm to it now. When they're ready, they're going to do it. So this is exactly the kind of thing that we have got to stand up to. This is exactly the kind of thing that we've got to rally together and unite and save our blockchain. Okay, save our wealth. So, look for my videos, guys, and please send me comments, send me information, anything you have about the blockchain, about certain people of interest, certain companies of interest, that may be trying to bring more regulation against us, that are joining in the fight against us, so that we can expose these people, we can do whatever we have to, boycott, whatever it takes, and tell your friends and family about the coins, about the blockchains. Anybody that might have a small business, get them on the blockchain. The more money and everything that we have involved, that we're united in, the better we can stand up against these attacks. We really can. And it doesn't take that much, just a certain percentage of the blockchain, and we can really kind of rein in how bad the attacks are when they do this. Between China and JP Morgan and the others, it's been horrific. It really has. So okay, guys, that's enough. Look for my ICO video today. Look for my other video on the news and everything. It's going to be my first official one. And I am going to change the icon on the videos. I'm gonna have 3 different icons. One for the day trading, which is the fire line, like you used to seeing. I'm going to do something different for the ICOs, and then of course something different for the news. So thank you so much, guys. Take care and be blessed.